I'm at a complete bloody loss, ladies and gentlemen. I have no fucking idea what's going through Donald Trump's head. I wish I did, I could make a fortune, couldn't I? But he's talking about at a news conference today, his phone call to Vladimir Putin. Apparently they were on the phone for a long time, over an hour, and loads of people apparently were involved in the conversation. I imagine Putin's advisors and his own advisors. And they talked about, of course, the Middle East, where Russia has undoubtedly been helping its old ally Iran. And then, of course, they mentioned the forgotten war, Ukraine. And why is he so pro-Putin in that war? Zelensky and Putin hate each other, obviously. Putin is worried because he knows Ukraine is getting stronger literally by the day. Their drone technology probably leads the world now. It was only a couple of years ago when those mass drone attacks by Russia were being so devastating. And now the Ukrainians, with their anti-drone technology, are knocking out about 80% or 90% of the drones and attacking themselves with drones that have tremendous range. They also have re-engineered their own cruise missile. I read about it the other day. Whether it's been fired or it's been used imminently, or it will be, I'm sure, and it's got a range of about 1,500 kilometres. That's about 900 miles, by the way, if you're interested. So it hits all the major targets. Of course, puts Moscow and St. Petersburg well within range. And it has a warhead of 1,250 kilograms. That's big. It's a proper cruise missile, and it's indigenous to Ukraine. They are very clever people. In my opinion, this war... Now, I have not done many posts on the war in Ukraine. I started doing them when it first started 4 years ago. But I realised very quickly, and so should you, the fog of war, you can't believe a word that comes out of there. It's a bit like the ongoing situation now with that dreadful regime in Hungary, who are part of the EU, that are very pro-Putin. I don't understand Hungary, and I don't understand the EU's attitude to Hungary. They shouldn't be allowed in the EU, because every time they don't agree with something, they block it, but they still want that 33 billion from the EU. Now, I know von der Leyen has actually got pretty angry about all this, and they've made the loan to Zelensky and Ukraine. Now, I know, and I'm well aware, I'm not a naive person, I'm well aware that fucking corruption is rife in Ukraine, as it is right across the world in these military dictatorships. But you've got to give Zelensky his due. Okay, he's on the front line most of the time. Do you ever see Putin on the front line? No. And, what the future holds for Ukraine is glorious. I'm going to say this now. I think Ukraine are winning this war. I know that's it's a big ask, and people are going for you to believe that, but I really believe it. I think their technology is improving at such a fantastic rate because they've had their backs against the wall. It's a David and Goliath battle, isn't it? The mighty Russian army that was going to defeat Ukraine in 3 days or 3 weeks has turned into, this is the 5th year of that war on our European doorstep. NATO, you should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely appalling, right on our doorstep, and we just sit there and let the poor people of Ukraine suffer. And also the United Nations, or what a fucking joke that is. We know what a joke it is. Look at them. Have you heard anything recently from the United Nations about stop the wars, stop that terrible regime in Iran that's been operating for 47 years, killing and maiming? The violence perpetrated against the Iranian people by that terrible regime. And the United Nations, what have they fucking done? Absolutely fucking nothing. They are absolutely useless. They should be ashamed of themselves. It should be disbanded and a new organisation. No, don't bother. Don't bother with an organisation like the United Nations again. It's a waste of bloody time. That huge building and all those thousands of people who live there, high on the hog, by the way, paid for by their own governments, who are naive enough to actually believe they do anything. What has the United Nations done or is doing that's making a difference anywhere? Tell me. I'm interested. I'm not, haven't got a closed mind regarding the United Nations. Tell me what good they've done. Yes, I know there is some humanitarian aid and all the rest of it, and even that's dubious. We don't know for sure, do we? And we know it's very, very biased. It's very left-wing. It's a bit like I used to give donations to the Red Cross, but after what I heard about, and particularly in Haiti, remember that terrible scandal a couple of years ago? No way. The same with the RNLI. You'll never get any donations from me again after what they do facilitating the arrival of illegal immigrants into this country. Now, I've gone off my original subject, and once you mention illegal immigrants to me, I start seeing those pound signs and the billions that we're spending on these bloody illegals and the veterans who are being left on the street in shocking conditions, and the homeless in the UK. You know, we need to look after our own people first. Make the people of England the priority. And the same goes, by the way, to the homeless people in America. Make them the priority. In the United States, I just find it quite extraordinary. And also, I've got to mention, just in brief, finally HMS Dragon, I just heard on the 5 o'clock news here in the UK that she's finally sailing with the Middle East. Take about 5 or 6 days to get down there. A little bit late, isn't it, now, when you see the Armada, have you seen the Armada that the French have sent down there, and they're already on station with their proper aircraft carrier, and our aircraft carrier is still in dock. Well, it's a joke anyway. You know how I feel about those two monstrosities. They should be used for, they could be used for hotels, actually. Yeah. Do you remember that hotel in Kuwait years ago? I think it was called a Marriott, and it was an ex-ship. It was really nice. We went there a few times for a meal. It was quite nice. It was up on the coast, up near the Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Sabah's palace. Do you remember? On the main road, on the coast road? I don't know if you do, but anyway, that's beside the point, so you could turn it into a hotel. We'd have two of them then. We could have one in the north of England and one in the south of England. You know, you could call them whatever you fucking like, really. I don't care. But anyway, they're pretty useless. And the F-35s can be operated from conventional airfields, and because they're vertical, they can go off from the local farmer's field or something. Don't buy any more of them because they're too expensive, and the future is drone technology anyway. Right now, it's 5:20 on a Tuesday afternoon, and I wasn't going to do this post, but I just felt I had to. Something made me want to do this because I need to talk to you people and advise you what's going on in the world. Are you interested? Oh, see that file there? That's my cancer file. It's about 4 inches thick now, and I just got 3 letters today, all the same letter, asking me to go to that appointment last Saturday at Stoke Mandeville, which I've done, of course. But the letter arrived a bit late, wasn't it? But all 3, and there's 3 identical letters. So the NHS have got to get their act together a little bit better than that. I went to the appointment because I fortunately got the app. But anyway, that's the file. I've actually got some more letters inside. I mean, it's enormous, and it just continues to grow. As for the treatment, well, I'm waiting to see what happens. And the prognosis is very good for you, for me, I mean. Anyway, take care, everybody. And let's hope this war finishes soon and that terrible regime in Iran is overthrown and the good people of Iran can have freedom and the luxury of living a life that they deserve. And by the way, just very briefly, I know I'm wandering again, goodness gracious me, but that's Pete, is the good people of Beirut, the people of Lebanon who are tired of Hezbollah. They've had a gutful, and they finally have said, put your weapons down. We're going to disarm you, because they are a nightmare, aren't they? Hezbollah and the Houthis and Hamas, all sponsored by Iran. So the sooner Iran's finished and a new government's in there, we'll see what the future holds. I am still optimistic, but a little bit worried, because President Donald Trump can prevaricate, and he says one thing and then says another, and I'm a little worried. The future is bright, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, the price of oil, I was just looking, is down in the mid-80s. So it's way below what it was just a couple of days ago. So don't panic. Everything's going to be fine because Pete says so. Love you all. Take care. Bye. Look after yourself for Pete's sake.